I'm a repeater for CAT. I've taken CAT before, maybe once, maybe twice. I'm having a go all over again. What should my strategy be? And so that's the question we're going to attack now. First up, if you're a repeater for CAT and your relevant CAT score or last CAT score was 80th percentile or 83rd, 84th percentile thereabout or below that, then prepare as if you're preparing for the first time. And the meaningful cutoffs with that open doors are in the 95, 96, 97 range. If you've got below 80th percentile, sometimes it feels like from 80 to 98 is just one small step. I'm at 80. From here, how far can 98 be? Very far. So if you're saying, look, I want 99th percentile, from 80th percentile to 99th percentile, you have to double your score. Keep that in mind. The percentile idea is sometimes a misnomer. It seems like very weird saying, without preparing, I got 80th percentile. I think this year I can prepare and I think I should be able to bridge the remaining gap. 80 tak aage abhi 20 bacha hai. And so that is the percentage or marks or score or, and so even in marks going from 80% to 100% is a big step. In percentile it's a giant step. 80th percentile to 99th percentile will involve a doubling of the score. 99th percentile to 99.99 is another 50%. 99.9 to 99.99 or 100 is another 20-25%. So it's a big journey. So if you've got 80th percentile or below, then take stock. And you've got 80th percentile, but sometimes you'll know that, hey, I have my verbal in place. I think I need to amp up my quants and keep my head above water in logical reasoning. I've done this drill once. The 80th percentile I got, but in my mocks I've got 91, 92. I know where I'm headed. Account for that. Take all that information about your strengths, your weaknesses, your mock performance, your preferred sections, your type of questions that are in your zone, all of that. Account for that and carve out your strategy. Fine, do that. But if your score of 80th percentile, it's unfortunate that I have to say it, does not mean at all that you're kind of there. That your default target, if it is 97, 98, 99 percentile, so your score has to kind of more than double from what you've got. And doubling in the same 2-hour framework is gigantically difficult. So difficult that 80th percentile has to be taken to mean nothing. And so keep that in mind. So if that is your percentile zone, then if you've got more than 91, 92, 93, if you're there and you know that this is anomalous and you are capable of getting even more, and that is verifiable, if mock scores are good, then you have to customize your preparation plan. And customization comes in kind of two broad categories. First one is section. Am I good at verbal? Am I good at quant? Am I good at LRDI? Really good at one, build speed, make that a killer strength, fill the gaps in the other two. Really weak in one, forget about these two, bridge the gap, then do everything else. The section profile thing is very important. So, am I a quant person? Am I a logical reasoning person? Am I a verbal person? Am I afraid of verbal? Am I afraid of logical reasoning? What is your preferred zone? What is the thing that you hate? And which is a more important piece of information between these two? Carve a strategy around that. Second thing, sometimes people miss out on fundas. So if you're saying, look, I really struggle to look at and try more than 4 or 5 questions in quant. I don't know how to do. Then you're in trouble. Learn from scratch and build out. You cannot be a person who says out of 22 questions, no matter how much time I'm given, I cannot approach more than 8 or 9. Then you're in trouble. And so it is not a speed thing. It's not a question selection thing. It's your fundas are weak. Build that. Sometimes the speed thing. The speed thing being, look, hey, I got this. I know this. I look at every question in quant. I'm almost able to attempt 16 or 17 of them out of 22. But in an exam context of 40 minutes, I've never gone more than 6 or 7. That means you know the funda, but your brain has not automated processes and you're not rushing through questions. Then build speed, do test after test after test after test and crank up so that you automate processes. If you're doing 6, 7, if you can go to 10, 11, that's enough. You'll fly. The third part, look, I have a hang of the topics. I have control over my speed. But it feels like each section I do well, but all put together it never happens. I've never had a mock score that is 80 marks overall. I miss out on something or the other. Then there's a mock taking gap, either with stamina or fatigue or complacency or temperamental strength or some question selection element, that in which case you'll have to start taking mocks from March from different providers. Keep pushing yourself for the overall big picture 10,000 feet thing and not go after a small topic, small idea. Fine. It could be a mixture of all three, in which case find a blend, find your blend. I'm not saying you need to have definitive answers for some of these. Sometimes I've had students who say, look, I don't know. And start, go with the flow, make adjustments on the way along. Fine. The other thing that repeaters need to keep in mind is this kind of preparation fatigue. And if there's a heavy duty emotional investment in this, if you've taken it seriously. Right? So if you've taken it seriously, then at least 5-6 months, go away attending classes for 10-12 hours a week, practicing for 10-12 hours a week. Outside of your college or work, if you're spending 20 hours a week on something for 5 months, 6 months, that's quite a lot. That's a heavy investment of time and energy. You sacrifice movies, cricket, watching sport, playing something, hanging out with friends, listening to music, all of that. Quite a few of these things go into the background, and you put more and more store in cracking this exam and going places. So it's a rigorous, hard journey with heavy duty emotional investment as well. And so if that has happened once, then you have to guard against fatigue. And you can't say, look, I did this from last year from Feb to December. This year I'm going to do it from Feb to December. Then there's a chance that you burn out. In which case you have to mix up your preparation. In case you've done some fund as well, then you should say, look, I want to do this. I want to have a go at CAT. I know what I'm doing. I don't want to really focus on verbal. My verbal is fine. Then I'll take everything in verbal and put it as reading. And then I'll finish 4 novels in the next 2 months and read tons of articles. But I'm doing nothing but leisure reading. That will amp up your awareness, understanding, comfort with the language, everything. But it's not hardcore preparation. And then you say, look, I want to do logical reasoning, puzzle solving. So I'll take a good, wonderful puzzle book in some genre, in a mathematical puzzle book, some form. Keep it there, not related to CAT, not directly related to CAT, but it helps creative thinking and out of the box thinking. I'm going to attack it every day for half an hour, 45 minutes. So I don't burn out, but I'm in touch, I'm optimizing my brain. If it is quant, then I have never touched geometry, trigonometry, mensuration, coordinate geometry in my life. Like I said, I'm not going to look at anything with shapes and figures and diagrams. Forget about everything else, pick up NCERT books, learn from first principles, learn proofs, learn idea, cover these topics. Don't jump into hardcore CAT preparation, but fill gaps, be in the mix, expand the way your brain operates. And if your quant and LRDA are brilliant and you have 3 years of experience, then I would say prepare for GMAT. Because it makes you think about verbal slightly differently. It takes you to a whole separate world. It's not a fatigue link to this whole. With CAT comes a paraphernalia. You subscribe to 2 YouTube channels. There's something that comes on your Instagram feed. You go to Twitter and there is a Twitter CAT prep. There is a Reddit zone, and you're living and breathing all of these, and then it burns out. And step out of all of this. Go to the GMAT world. Spend 3 months, 4 months. Take that exam. It's a good exam taking experience. It's going to give you a bunch of options because of that. Going to help you with the same set of colleges as CAT for the Indian band. Attack that, then take stock and jump back into CAT. That could be the thing that you need. And so those of you who are repeaters, customize the course a little bit for yourself. Make adjustments based on what you know about your strengths and weaknesses, and have a good plan to accept, acknowledge, and combat fatigue. Doing this for 24 months at a stretch can just make you tired. Right? You have to plan to not get into fall into that trap. Right? So it's a beautiful exam to prepare for. It's a lot of fun if you prepare for it the right way. Having a go at CAT and missing out is nothing in life. We've had guys who work with us who cracked CAT in their 5th attempt. 2 of them. One went to NITI and he's going places now. Another is right now studying in IIM Bangalore. And so quite a few times. Quite a few guys who crack CAT in their 2nd, 3rd, 4th attempts. It happens all the time. But if you have taken it twice and you're going after the 3rd time, you have to modify your strategy. You have to make sure that you don't get burnt out, make sure you peak at the right time, think about those variables, because you have a good understanding of what this is about. Right? So back yourself, build your self-belief. It's a super crackable exam. There is no need at all to have cracked it the first time or the second time. If you're going after it for the nth time, go after it with a sense of joy and being light on your feet and enjoying yourself. Don't think of as a veteran in this space who's having to mix it with the plebes. Don't put those layers of extra pressure on yourself. Prepare joyfully. Your experience will come into play, but it shouldn't become something that becomes a burden. And you have to figure out that makes a super crackable exam, even if it has not gone your way once, twice, thrice, 4 times before. Keep that in mind.
Hey, I hope you liked this video and you found this to be super useful. Now, if you are a CAT repeater and if you are planning to give CAT 2025, we are conducting a webinar this Friday for CAT repeaters where we talk about how to prepare for this test now, what are the things that you should be emphasizing on, what are the places that you should be targeting, what scores you should be expecting from the last time. We are giving a complete download for all repeaters. If you want to join and take value, check the description box, you will have a link there. Register for the webinar and take value from it. All the best.